In the present lifetime, one can lose one's hearing as a result of sickness, or being beaten, and other similar things. Those are the actual causes. 3. Question. The mute cannot speak. What sins have they committed in order to be mute? Answer. -1. They have cut out someone's tongue or choked someone. They have made someone unable to speak by means of an evil herb. Hearing the instructions of their teacher or the orders of their father, they have cut off their speech and not followed their advice. Acting in bad ways, they did not believe in sin or merit and opposed correct speech. Condemned to hell, when they are reborn in human form, they are mute, unable to speak. Those are the various causes that make someone mute. 4. Question. The Sutra says that the insane become rational. Why is one insane? Answer. For having committed the following sins in the course of previous lifetimes: molesting someone deep in dhyana, destroying the monastery of meditators, deceiving people by means of spells in order to inspire them to hatred, anger, or sensual desires. In the present lifetime, insanity is caused by the heaviness of the fetters. Thus the Brahmin, who had lost his rice field, read Tao Tien, Sajiak Sutra, instead of Fu Tien, and whose wife had died, had a fit of madness and fled completely naked. The bhiksu nitche chokie kiao tien, cries Akagotmi, while she was still a lay person, lost her 7 sons. The sadness made her lose her reason and she became insane. Extremely irritable people, unable to contain themselves, become completely insane. Mad people, by a sad mistake, cover their bodies with ashes, tear out their hair, go about naked and eat dung in their madness. After a serious illness, a sickness of wind or a sickness of fire, people become insane. Others are insane because they are possessed by evil demons or because they have stupidly drunk rain water. This is how one loses one's reason, and all these individuals are called insane. But when they succeed in seeing the Buddha, these madmen recover their reason. Question. The sutra adds that distracted people regain their attentiveness, but the insane are also distracted. Why is there this distinction? Answer. There are people who, without being insane, are often distracted. Attentiveness is like a monkey. When it is not fixed, there is distraction. Agitated and speedy, mind becomes attached to a crowd of objects. Then one loses one's mental power and is unable to find the path. Question. What are the causes of distraction? Answer. The attenuation of the functioning of good thoughts, the pursuit of evil. These are the causes of distraction. Furthermore, people do not consider the transitory nature of things, or the signs of death or universal emptiness. They are attached to long life, think only of their own business and are scattered in many ways. This is why they are distracted. Finally, they do not enjoy the inner joy coming from the Buddha Dharma. They seek the occasions of pleasure outwardly and pursue the causes of pleasure. This is why they are distracted. But when these distracted people come to see the Buddha, their attentiveness is fixed. 6. Question. There are 2 kinds of madmen, those who are recognized as such and those who, by a sad mistake, are naked without people considering them to be insane. It is said that in southern India there was a Dharma teacher Cao, who preached the 5 precepts. In the crowd there were many heretics who had come to listen, and the king of the country made some objections. If, as you say, those who provide liquor or who drink liquor were punished with madness, among our contemporaries mad people would be more numerous than rational people. Now actually, mad men are rare and those of healthy mind are numerous. How can that be? At once the heretics applauded, saying, "This is a profound objection. This Cao with the shaven head will not be able to answer it, for the king's knowledge is sharp." Then the Dharma teacher, pointing his finger at the heretics, spoke about something else. The king understood, but the heretics said to him. The king's objection was profound. He has not answered. Ashamed of his ignorance, he just raises his finger and talks about something else. The king said to the heretics, the Dharma teacher Cao Tso has answered with his finger, and that is all. He said nothing in order to spare you. By showing you his finger, he meant that you are the madman and that madmen are not rare. You coat your bodies with ashes and you have no shame in going about naked. You fill human skulls with excrement and you eat it. You tear out your hair. You sleep on thorns. You hang yourselves upside down and you asphyxiate yourselves. You go into the water in winter. You roast yourselves in the fire in summer. All these practices are not the path, but signs of madness. According to your rules, selling meat or selling salt are transgressions of the Brahmin law. But in your temples, you accept oxen as gifts, you resell them and you claim to observe your law. But the ox is meat. Is it not wrong to deceive people thus? You claim that by going into the sacred rivers, all the stains of sins are wiped out, but there is no reason why such a bath constitutes a sin or a merit. What wrong is there in selling meat or salt? You claim that a bath in holy rivers can wipe out sins, but if it wipes out sins, it would also wipe out merits. What is there that is holy in these rivers? These practices have no basis. Attempting to justify them is madness. All these signs of madness are yours, and it is to spare you that the Dharma teacher has shown you his finger and said nothing. That is what is called the madness of nudity. Moreover, some poor people go about without clothes or their clothes are in tatters. It is by the power of the Buddha that they acquire clothing. 7. The Sutra says that the hungry will be satisfied and the thirsty quenched. Why are they hungry and thirsty? Answer. As a result of scarcity of merits. In previous existences there was no cause, and in the present existence there is no condition for hunger and thirst. Furthermore, people who, in their previous lifetimes, have stolen food from the Buddhas, the Arhats, the Pratyekabuddhas, their relatives, or their families, will be hungry and thirsty because of the gravity of this fault, even if they are living during the golden age of a Buddha. Question. The cause of it is retribution of actions, which varies for each case. Some people fulfill the causes and conditions required to see a Buddha but do not fulfill the causes and conditions required to eat and drink. Others fulfill the causes and conditions required to eat and drink but do not fulfill the causes and conditions required to see a Buddha. It is like the black snake that sleeps while clasping the jewel at the top of its head. There are arhats who beg for their food and get nothing. Thus, at the time of the Buddha Kasyapa, 2 brothers left home in order to seek the path. The first observed the precepts, recited the sutras and practiced dhyana. The second solicited patrons and cultivated meritorious actions. When Buddha Sakyamuni appeared in the world, the first was born into a merchant's household and the second became a great white elephant whose strength conquered the enemies. The merchant's son left home to practice the path. He became an arhat endowed with the 6 abhijnas, but, as a result of his restricted merits, he obtained his food with difficulty when he begged. One day he entered into a city, bowl in hand, to beg his food, but he could not obtain anything. Coming to the stable of the white elephant, he saw that the king furnished the latter with everything in abundance. He said to the elephant, "You and I together have committed sins." The elephant was at once remorseful and spent 3 days without eating. Worried, its keeper set out to look for the monk and, having found him, asked, "What spell have you placed on the king's white elephant that it is sick and does not eat?" He answered, "In a previous lifetime, this elephant was my younger brother. Under the Buddha Kasyapa we left home together to practice the path. I was satisfied to keep the precepts, recite sutras, and practice dhyana, but I did not practice generosity. On the other hand, my brother limited himself to soliciting.